On this episode of Road Trip Masters, we cruise into a town that has a train running down its main street.
Then travel to Louisville to see how an American legend is made.
It makes the player look cool.
We'll kick back some whiskey,
I sip and enjoy, and somebody chugs.
pound down a hot brown,
Wow, is that fantastic?
And visit some former racers that grace the grounds at Churchill Downs.
So sit back, relax, and let us do the driving right here on Road Trip Masters. I'm Nick Kessler.
And I'm Brian Fulmer,
We're teachers that have a passion for travel.
cruising the highways and byways in our 1968 drop-top caddy.
We discover the places and people that make this nation great. We are Road Trip Masters. This week, we're headed down Route 71 to LaGrange, Kentucky. Located in Oldham County and 30 minutes outside of Louisville, LaGrange was established in 1827 and named after an estate in France that was once owned by the American Revolutionary War hero Marquis de Lafayette. Today, one can commonly hear the clickety-clack of the locomotive roaring down LaGrange's main street and experience the collection of unique shops, art galleries, eateries, and other area attractions. Located just outside of LaGrange is the Bluegrass Country Estate, a unique bed and breakfast that offers its guests a relaxing experience, all while being surrounded by the stunning countryside and, yes, horses. And that's where I caught up with Cheryl, the owner of this beautiful B&B.
Here we are, Cheryl. Absolutely beautiful place.
Thank you.
I'm going to call it the Bluegrass Country Inn and Estate.
It is.
Tell us about the room situation.
We've got a total of 5 rooms. One room, which is the Run for the Roses, was done after my mother. People tend to like that room just because it's very cozy. It has all antique furniture in it. Another room, the Philly room, was based on the statue that we have out here. Another room is the Ascot room, which is after England, since I lived in England for 4 years. Then the other one is a steeplechase suite. It's a combination of antiques in there, and it's just a much bigger room.
So everything is following almost like your life, your positive influences, and so forth.
Yep, and then downstairs we have the turf room, which is kind of a play on horses and golf, a full movie theater room, and a full gym.
Down in the home theater,
Yeah,
there's a special story because there's pictures on the wall.
yep.
What can you tell us about that?
Well, they're all originals. My mother worked for Paramount Studios for 40-some years.
So name some of the actors or actresses that are down there.
Ava Gardner, Claudette Colbert, Elvis, of course. is
Elvis?
there, of
Your
course.
mom knew Elvis?
She did.
You have the stable there. You have 2 of your own.
Yep.
And for people coming, they can bring their own horse?
Yes, we don't allow them to ride our horses, but they can bring their own horses with them, and then I can take them out on the trails as my guest. I wanted it to be an upscale, beautiful place for somebody to visit that represented Kentucky.
I think you nailed it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're looking forward to our stay, Cheryl.
Thank you.
We're excited.
Well, we're excited to have you.
All right.
So after settling in at the beautiful Bluegrass Estate, Brian and I decided to go for a drive, landing us at the Main Street Bourbon and Ale House for some food, drinks, and a perfect view of the train rolling through town. This is where Brian met up with Chef Kevin.
Kevin, we're back in the kitchen. What do you have for us today?
Today we're going to be doing a hot brown, which consists of toasted bread, just cut in half, got turkey, tomatoes, bacon, cheese, regular bechamel sauce, just a thick milk sauce. This goes in the oven. This is gonna all melt down and just kind of ooze out and be bubbly and delicious looking.
All right. So we just put it in, slides it right down,
Yep.
and then we wait. Such a simple dish.
Oh yeah. I mean, we like to keep things simple around here, so what's not to love about bread, cheese, bacon?
All right. And that's it.
Be nice, hot, and bubbly.
Took very little time. And voila, the crispness, the bubbly, as you said, beautiful. All right, so I have this one, but my buddy's at the bar, and I told him I'd get him something to eat. Do you mind whipping another one up for me?
I guess.
All right.
While Brian waited in the kitchen for the second round of the hot brown, I met up with Linda, who mixed us up some liquid treats.
All right.
Hey, buddy, what'd you get us?
I got us some hot browns.
I got us a Manhattan and an old fashioned made with a local bourbon whiskey.
I say we go out to the deck and maybe we could see if that train passes by.
Sounds like a plan.
And there it was, a locomotive chugging right along through the heart of LaGrange. A perfect show for the perfect Kentucky meal.
All right, Brian, we got to dig in.
Absolutely.
After that train passing through town, hot brown, big chunk.
Wow, is that fantastic?
After we finish these things off, I say we hit the main street of LaGrange.
Absolutely.
Located 30 minutes from LaGrange is the legendary Louisville Bat Company. And since Brian and I are both sports enthusiasts, we just had to check out their newly renovated factory experience tour that gives each visitor an in-depth, behind-the-scenes look on how these wooden bats are made. We started this tour off, shall we say, on hallowed ground.
All right, guys, well, welcome to the Bat Vault. We call this the Fort Knox of Louisville Slugger. We've got some special gloves for you guys to handle the artifacts with. So these are the original templates our craftsmen used. For many, many years, up until the early 1980s, we were still hand-turning bats for Major League ball players. You never want to make a copy from a copy, so these are all the originals here.
PJ showed us Joe DiMaggio's famous D29 bat, which led him to a 56-game hitting streak in 1941, and Hank Aaron's iconic A99 bat, which was created on July 20th, 1961. But we just had to lay our hands on the King of Kings, the legend of all legends, the bat of all bats.
All right, this is the R43. This is the model that we designed
That is
for
the
Babe
legend.
Ruth. This is it, the great Bambino.
Man, wow.
You know, a lot of people, when they get the Babe Ruth model in their hand, they're expecting this giant tree trunk of a bat. And, you know, there's a lot of great stories about Babe, and you know, some of them are myth. And, you know, his bat was fairly normal looking. I mean, people expected this huge monster of a bat, and it wasn't. It was a fairly thin handle for that time. So it became a very popular model.
Well, PJ, where do we go after the vault?
You want to go to the factory?
Absolutely. I want to see how you make these
All right,
bats.
let's do it.
All right, let's roll. All right, Brian, here we are, right in the CNC area, and it's loud. Yes. So, PJ, these are where the MLB prime bats are made?
Correct. All of our major league bats, our minor league bats, our very high-end retail prime bats, and then our international pro orders. Anywhere they're playing professional baseball, this is where their bats are going to be made over here in our CNC area.
After these cuts of wood are grain line tested, they are put into a CNC lathe that can shape these bats with an accuracy up to 31 thousandths of an inch. Then it's off to the drum sander to give these bats a nice smooth surface.
When you are using the sander, is it a fine sanding?
It starts off as a rougher grit, and then as it moves through that drum, it's going through a finer grit. By the time it finishes, it'll be nice and smooth.
All right, PJ, where to next?
We're going to take you guys over to bone rubbing.
All right, bone rubbing.
So for many years, ball players would take a bone, like a ham bone or some kind of other bone, and rub it up and down the barrel of their bat. The hope was you're going to close the pores on that bat, give it a little bit of a harder hitting surface. And so we actually created this machine over here, and it's going to close the pores on that bat. It's going to move up and down the barrel of that bat, go all the way around that bat, and close the pores on this barrel, give it a nice hard hitting surface.
So again, toughen up the surface, get a better pop off the bat.
Exactly.
Now that these bats have their foundation, it's time for them to be sent over to the Pro Finish department to be customized. From texture to branding, this is where the identity of each Louisville bat is born. Brian even got the chance to get his hands on one of the custom bats.
This is none other than the great Cody Bellinger's bat right here.
So this is the actual bat that I'm holding.
Before he does.
Don't tell him.
PJ then surprised us with our very own Road Trip Masters prime bats. Two absolute beauties that will forever be displayed in our man caves.
Well, PJ, I guess that concludes the bat making process. There's only one thing left to do. Brian, test the bat.
That's your hand and get some swings in the cages. Swing and a miss. You haven't done it in a while.
Come on, buddy. That's the one. That's it?
You're good.
All right.
PJ, thank you so much, sir.
Thanks so much for coming by, guys.
Absolutely. Thank you, PJ.
Yeah, safe trip in that caddy.
Brian, here we are, legendary Buffalo Trace. And we got Patrick here.
I can't believe how we jumped over the fence to get in here.
Patrick, what are we going to see? I know Buffalo Trace makes a plethora of products.
Today we're actually dumping our antique collection. We've got the George T. Stagg we've dumped, and we're about to refill those barrels.
That's how it's going to be bottled up and sold.
Yes.
Okay.
So that'll be barrel proof. Roughly, we would expect around 140 proof.
Wow, that's a lot, Brian.
It's 15 years old.
Woo! So Patrick, it's safe to say that this process that we're seeing happens one time a year, but you only take it out of the barrel and re-put it in just with this brand, correct?
There's several brands that we do that with, and it's just one time a year that we do this.
So we're here at a special time.
Very, very special time.
So we decided to take advantage of this rare opportunity and get hands-on and uncork one of these puppies.
I split the damn thing.
Next, the precious liquid gold is pumped into its new home, topped off, then filled to the rim, where it is recorked and sent away to age to perfection.
Tell you what, Patrick, feels great in this spot.
Yeah, there's some air conditioning in here, a little better, a little cooler in here.
So what are we bottling up?
Here we're bottling the Antique Collection, so it's the Weller Antique Collection at 107, and these are SBS barrels.
All right, so the bottling process, how many bottles will you kick out of this facility?
This is a brand new operation. We've just expanded into this building and enhanced its capabilities. So we're running about 30 barrels a day out of here. We have 3 other craft bottling facilities. There's one that's a very small 2-barrel operation, and then there's the Blanton building as well, where that's actually about 12 barrels at a time, and they'll do that on 2 different shifts.
Are they bottling Blantons right now?
It would either be some Takara or Blantons, but I believe we're doing Blantons today.
Is there any way we could see the little classic horse head get put on the bottle?
We possibly could.
All right, Brian, what do you think?
I'm in.
Here we are, Brian, with a new guy, Lee.
Tour guide, Nick, not new guy. Tour guide.
So, Lee, with Blanton's here. And we also have the Eagle Rare also going on the other line. 2 classics here at Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
What makes them so special?
Blanton's is the original single barrel bourbon. A lot like Albert Blanton used to do. Just 1 barrel at a time. He'd do it for friends and family and things like that, holidays, Christmas. But nobody done it at a commercial scale yet. The rest, as they say, is history.
Now, there's a couple unique things, Lee. You get into this building, and it's not that big. It's really tiny, and you're expecting this huge bottling plant, but you don't see that.
No.
And then the bourbon barrels are coming literally right in, dumping.
Yep, 1 at a time.
It's like I'm stepping back in time.
There's very little change, but for the most part, we're doing things the way things have been done here for 200 years.
When you look at the iconic cap, you always hear these stories. Any truths about them?
Well, there are 8 different stoppers. Each horse has a little circle at the heel of the horse, and you put them together just right, it spells out Blanton's.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Hey, Brian.
No, not that one. Well, I think the next place we'll go will be to our historic Warehouse C, one of our aging warehouses built in 1885.
All right. Sounds good. Let's go.
That's right, the legendary Warehouse C, which holds the title of the oldest warehouse on the distillery grounds.
Here we are, almost at the intersection, the crossroads.
It's amazing, Lee. The amount of barrels in this warehouse alone, just on this floor, what would you say numbers-wise we're looking at?
There are approximately 24,000 barrels just in this one warehouse. Each barrel holds 53 gallons. Each barrel weighs nearly 550 pounds when it's full. Whew. The building's built in 1885. We're standing on the lowest floor.
I mean, run.
Yeah, stand here as long as you're comfortable. No, it's a very well-built building. I mean, it's been standing since 1885 after all.
Now let me ask you, Lee, where's the 23-year-old Pappy hiding at?
Well, it could be just about anywhere. It could be that some of the barrels just right here could someday be that 23-year-old Pappy Van Winkle.
Well, I don't know about you, Nick, but what I do know is I'm ready to taste some of this stuff.
So it was time to enter paradise at Buffalo Trace's tasting room, where Lee poured his heavenly spirits. Everything we sampled was crafted to perfection, offering its own distinct flavor profiles right to the last drop.
All right, buddy. Cheers. Lee, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lee,
It was a pleasure and an honor to show you around a little bit. Thanks for coming. Come back and see us again.
You have an incredible operation here that everybody needs to see. What a facility.
And our tours are free.
That's great. I'll see you at the 1 o'clock showing.
Excellent.
Located in the heart of LaGrange is the Oldham County Museum. The artifacts are plentiful, like the ones from Henry Bibb, who escaped slavery through the Underground Railroad. Henry was instrumental in starting the first black newspaper in Canada. One can also see a collection of his stories and narratives, along with other artifacts that were owned by him. The museum also houses exhibits on D.W. Griffith, who was a filmmaker during the early part of the 20th century. He is primarily responsible for creating the first feature-length film and pioneered many cinematic techniques, such as the close-up, that are still used in the movie industry today. The Oldham County Museum also comes complete with a replica prison cell of the Kentucky State Reformatory. View the prisoner artwork that they have created and also see the many different types of weapons confiscated at the reformatory. But one area in the museum caught our eye, and that was the exhibit dedicated to a man named Earl Bennett, who was a soldier that served in World War II. And that's where Helen, the museum's educator and genealogist, filled us in on more.
Well, Helen, what do you have for us here?
Well, Earl Bennett is one of the men we feature. That was in World War II. We have his scrapbook with his memorabilia. We're lucky to have his Purple Heart, so yeah.
And then here you have a letter.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that.
That is, I believe, his mother's scrapbook. She kept, of course, all the things that he sent home to her before he died and everything.
And if you read it, it's not a letter that any parent would want to get.
Right, it's not. It's probably the worst letter you would want to get.
I mean, I used to hear about this growing up from my grandparents and such, and now to actually see one of the letters, the amount of emotions, by the time you get midway through is devastating.
Yeah, well, it makes you think about all that they went through, all that the soldiers sacrificed for us.
This museum is a true treasure in Oldham County, and we found another place which honors heroes of a different kind.
Susan, we're in Kentucky. We cannot leave unless we get to see some horses. And I understand you're the lady to talk to. Can you tell us about Second Stride?
Second Stride started in 2005. The idea is to help transition the racehorses from the area to new, safe, loving homes. Let them find something else to do once they've retired from the racetrack.
So you are taking an actual racehorse that's been in the Derby, perhaps the Preakness, the Belmont, along with various other tracks throughout the country.
Correct.
What kind of racehorses do we have? Do we have some with some type of provenance?
We have a horse today we're gonna bring out, Far Right, who raced in the 2015 Derby against American Pharoah. He came to us with a slight injury. We have rehabilitated him, and he's ready for his new career.
Brian, I can't wait to see the massiveness, the muscles, and I can't wait till Susan saddles this horse up and you and I get to ride it.
Not together.
So we left it to the pros to handle Far Right, like Susan's daughter, Lila. But before hitting the dirt, she had to strap this beautiful horse up for the ride.
Now, Lila, are you nervous?
No.
Not at all?
No. He's a sweet boy.
Fully confident?
Yeah, I'd say that.
Now, we're going to evaluate you on a 10-point system, 10 being the highest.
Yep.
And good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. What are you laughing at, Mom?
That was just 2,000 pounds effortlessly, just trotting right by.
Apparently, it's not a trot.
It's a canter.
Canter. Guess we got to know. I told you we didn't know much about horses.
Absolutely not. I never said I was a horse expert, that's for sure.
After an impressive ride, Lila took Far Right back to the stable, where he'll wait for his next Kentucky stroll.
Well, Brian, another successful road trip in the books.
Oh, absolutely. Kentucky, I loved it. What a great adventure, and what great beauty.
Until next time, I'm Nick Kessler.
And I'm Brian Fulmer. Stay curious, my friends.
Safe travels.